Hello. Um, so I've been away from where I sleep for 7 weeks, and ever since I'm back in that square, concrete square where my bed is, I'm more home than there. Um, which is it's a thing I realized when I was little, and especially after I was cycling. Um, I really do feel so much at home in nature, um, without people. It was such a nice thing in the morning when you just zip open your tent and there was like green and bears. No, no bears, but it was just green and there was like nothing and nobody. Um, that's really living for me. And I decided a long time ago that I would leave. I have to take you back a year ago when it really started to like open up. About open up the actual doing it. Um, so last year I was in a pretty severe depression, I guess you could say. Really sucked. Uh, I almost wasn't there anymore. And I had a relationship for 3 years, and I've been with all her difficult stuff. I always dealt with it. And well, long story short, at that point when I needed her and her family the most, they just fucked off. She didn't just leave, she vanished. And the thing about that is that it's, well, it's shitty. It's a really shitty thing to do to other people. Just leave the love of your life behind and vanish and never say anything anymore ever. Well, especially in those times, obviously. But yeah, the funny thing about that story, funny, is my dad did the same when I was like 21 or 22. I also had like not really a very good time. I mean, not as bad as now, but it was not a nice time. And he just left. But he actually had the decency to say, "Yeah, I don't want to see you anymore." Um, and then she promised me that she would never, ever, ever do that stuff ever to me. I didn't have to relive a situation like that, and then she's doing it worse because she made promises while she left. She said, I needed just some time, I'm not leaving you, I love you, yada yada, and then poof. Actually, when I go to my house, I had to go. It's not a um, it's not a different route. I have to go. I had to go um, where she lives. And then there's one time, because when you go off the highway, I just have to go. Doesn't matter. I had to go there. I was driving past her house, I thought, and then I looked, and I was like, it looks empty. Like, what the hell? It looks empty. So I actually stopped, and I was like looking into the window. I was like, it's fucking empty. Like, what the hell? And then I got an email saying that, yeah, you can find another girl. Bye. Like, what? And for like more than a year now, and I cannot help it. It's more for a year now. I've been just going like it's just this on a rerun, and it still is. And at that moment, I was just like, okay. Apparently, people can do that to each other. I knew it kinda because, I always had trust issues because, well, there's a past. But this is like on a whole new level, and I didn't know. Apparently, people do that stuff. Just they say stuff and they do like the complete opposite of it. It's like literally like the complete opposite. Yeah, that's when I was thinking, okay, you know what? It's people. This is not made for me at all. So when you put that next to the fact that I really dislike the Western world, like where everything revolves around, you have to work, you have to pay taxes, you have to pay insurance, you have to pay healthcare, you have to pay this, you have to do that. If you don't do this, even dying, it costs money, which is a weird thing. But if you die, it's gonna cost you. Yeah, I'm pretty afraid of people nowadays. I can't help it. It's even when I'm in my kitchen and I hear the door closing. I live in a flat, so I have an apartment and there's like this thing. So when people go to their house, they have to go. I'm the second apartment, so people have to go in front of my kitchen window to get to their apartment. And so when I hear the door close, I know there are people probably coming. And I'm hiding. I'm literally hiding. I hear the door and I'm like, oh fuck. And I'm just sitting there like some kind of little troll in a corner, like, oh fuck, don't. And they just walk, they just pass by. They're not like, no, they just pass by. It's just, this is how, well, I guess fucked up I am when it comes to people. And it's also because of the constant pressure that people are just putting in my head, you know, it's, well, it's just a very simple, easy example, but messaging. If you don't reply, sometimes even within an hour or a day, there's nothing, literally nothing that important which cannot wait for a day or two. And when it is really important, call. I mean, you know, there's nothing. And then if you don't respond, they're like, what's up with you? And, you know, I don't want to be the one that doesn't get a hint or whatever. And I'm like, oh fuck, really? There's just like, isn't there anything else besides Facebook or whatever? But they check when you're online and you're not, and they're like, well, he's just been online. Why isn't he? It's really, it's just too hard for me. I can't do it anymore. I really can't. So there's there's sort of my ex, there's sort of the constant nagging and pressure. Even with money, there's so much pressure. So yeah, and even this now. I mean, we all live in screens. We totally lost contact with what life is about. We just don't know anymore because we watch in screens pretty much from the moment we wake up to the moment that we dive back into bed again, which is insane. So yeah, and then obviously we have the animal rights activism movement. Yeah, I'm gonna dive into this as well for a little moment. Yeah, I think I've done my part for I think in total like 15 years or whatever. And the last 8 years I actually have been active, which isn't holding a sign. Activism is like from active, you're not active when you take a train and just stand there for 2 hours. That's not being active. That's the least you can do. So yeah, I've done my part in activism. I've been into barns. I filmed. Then I take all that stuff home to create videos and make, quotes on pictures that I made, and it's just a 24/7 cycle of seeing misery and animal abuse, and I even have nightmares from it. I actually sometimes I even wake up like literally crying. I just remember one. I'm not gonna really dive into that too deep, but just a pig. I was at a sanctuary and there was a pig. It was like pretty literally only bones, and I woke up sobbing. Like I was like crying my eyes out. I'm like, fuck. Maybe this is getting a little bit too much now, which is shitty because I always lived for the animals, and I thought it would be a really good idea to just be doing animal stuff for 24/7, but apparently it's not really. You have people that can shut it off, but I'm most definitely not one of them. But yeah, it's a shitty thing to just witness the scene that you kind of help build up with. You help build it up, and then it becomes such a fucking ego-infested thing. Like everything is about me now, more me. You have people that walk into barns and film themselves. Even people that destroy hunter cabins and all that stuff, and they just film it. Like, do you want to get caught? Even when they're in barns, I mean, it's a good thing, but why do you have to? It's like I'm in a bar now, and this happens. Oh, there's a pig. Well, back to me. It was never about you, and it's a sad thing. But I guess nobody can. What's the word? Nobody can. Well, I don't know what the word is, but the thing is, when you get a couple of likes, for whatever reason, ego starts liking it, and then that's pretty much all they do. They post a picture with some animal somewhere in the background, which should be the main subject, but it's not. And all those comments, hero, oh, you're so great, thank you for doing this and for holding up a sign when it's dry, because when it's raining, nah, we don't want to go. That's a sad thing. But yeah, so that's also the point is, I'm leaving, I'm going, nobody will find me anymore. I deleted my social stuff like Facebook and Instagram and blah blah, and with everything else that I couldn't delete, I changed my password into something I couldn't remember, like to capital F, small r, question sign, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter, I don't know, there's no way you can reach me. Yeah, I told some people where I'm going, but I lied. So yeah, nobody knows. Ever since that thing with my ex, I kind of like feel lost. But maybe, hopefully, I actually found myself. I know if I'm gonna stay here, I'm not gonna be happy or find my luck. I had that for like a couple of years, and then I left. So, yeah, it's me time now. That's also the thing. I've been living for other people. I've been humble, and Yeah, yes, okay, yeah, I'm always trying to find like a middle ground somewhere, and fuck it, I'm done. This is about me. The funny thing is, I'm gonna be a zero waste raw vegan. I'm better than you. Nah, that's a joke, obviously, but it is. It's true. But it is kinda. Yeah, I'm gonna be off grid and off the radar, and thank you for whatever. Um, I am sorry for certain people that I couldn't really talk about it or say it, and that you have to notice it, you know, through this medium. Um, but you know what? Again, it's me time now. I just don't want to do stuff I don't want to do. So that's it. Um, that's it, guys. I hope somebody picks up my towel that's in the ring now. But you know, it's gonna be a hard thing, I guess. Okay. Cheers.